right, ladies. Tried to keep this short and sweet. Just woke up not too long ago. Took a sick day and was like, fuck work. Um, Shadow Hunt. Looking pretty darn on snazzy. You got the Night Lords, which I'm very happy to see because I've been wanting to see at least a small company of them or whatever in the Kill Team pack, which is a pack that also comes with a new set of Battle Sisters that look like they might be an elite type team just because of the outfits and stuff. As you can see here, the Battle Sisters are more like draped in cloth, more like a tactical, like almost like Assassin's Creed in a way, with one little gown over the one side with the hidden blade and stuff. But they look like they're like a more of a sacred type order. I don't know what that insignia there on the bottom is for. I'm assuming they're a very small covert tactical teams. Those mauls or maces look fucking phenomenal. Wait, do these guys have two types? Oh, it looks like they can switch between the crossbolt or flamer bolt, which, I mean, either way, I'd probably do one of each just to have the variety. You know, shield maiden. I'm assuming. I don't know if they use that as a staff or as a chanting weapon. Same as that. It's really not too much. I mean, it looks like it's got a Vox speaker right there, just ready to talk into. Blade Maiden, and then you got quite a bit of. Looks like enchanters. I'm gonna assume that's a mace. That's almost like a pull arm mace, and then this is like either a small like tactical spear or an enchanting weapon, and then this is the some type of relic that allows them to gives them a little bit more faith in them. But the Sisters of Battle looking pretty cool, pretty awesome. The shield looks phenomenal. All the weaponry that they carry looks awesome. The maces, very brutal. You get smacked in the head with that, you ain't coming back. But then, which is curious, is the Night Lords, which Pulp, plasma pistol, normal, power sword, a power staff. I don't know anything of that besides the Custodians having a Hellberg type style weapon. And your chain bolt pistol, melt a gun. And you've got your chain axe. And then this guy, which is kind of weird, is that you can see the warp taint on him, which, if you know anything about the Night Lords, they didn't choose a side, same as the Iron Wars. They didn't choose a side to follow in there. So I'm going to chuck it up to long exposures in the warp because he doesn't show any sign of any of the four Chaos Gods. I just know that they're more of like a mercenary band or anything. Which, same with this guy spouting a horn here. I'm going to assume long exposures to Chaos because he's a Chaos Lord. But I know they don't side with any of them. They just more of like, if you can pique their interests, they'll fight for you. I'm a little upset that they don't have the wings on the head, and there's not more like skin flail and skulls and maybe a pinned hand somewhere. These guys I feel like they kind of cheaped out on them. They're like him. Look, he's got heads on there. Okay, yeah. The rest, blank. They don't look like Night Lords that the original Night Lords look like. With the wings on the helmets, the flailed skin, and the hands and skulls all over the body. Again, he does human flail skin and stuff. It looks like they chose only a few people to be specially down with that, but it was a tactical thing. But we're not just talking about that. We're also talking about the Tomb World, which we're going to take a quick peek at that because that looks pretty good. Whole box set. And the cool thing about these are, they are kind of expensive kill team sets, but the best thing about these is that you get a map, you get sectors, you get terrain, and you get borders, which, with the other one, you get kind of an advantage point. And then also, with this being the Death Watch versus Necrons, you get multiple legions in one. You got White Scars, Blood Angels. I'm going to assume that's a Black Templar with an Imperial Fist, a Salamander, a Raptor. These two I don't know, so if you know them, leave a comment down below. Let me know who this Marksman and Arctic Exer. Again, second grade reading level, ain't too fucking good at that. Space Wolves, Ultramarines. We all know the iconic for Ultramarines, and then a Space Wolf. Looks like he's some guy from the Bushi Mountains. And then I want to say I know this insignia here. I wish they would have just left him as a black shield, because that's heresy as it is using that enemy's weaponry unless you can get it. But he's a blade master using a Necron blade. But I think that would have been cool if they would have left him just as a black shield, just to show how dedicated to the Death Watch he really was, that he gave up everything to die and fight in the name of the Death Watch. But no, yeah, all these guys are looking pretty cool. Even the bolter, look at that, the heavy bolter. That's like a wicked looking gun right there. I mean, and the cool thing is that they're all not just one class. You know, he's a heavy bolter with the flamethrower, which that's iconic for salamanders. Dual blade fighter, you know, heavy bolter, heavy plasma. I'm gonna assume that's a grenade bolter or something. You know, he's a plasma with a phase sword. And, you know, and it kind of sticks to what they're known for. So I don't know what he would be. That would involve a big ass power mace with a shield. You know, he looks like he's looking like he's using a stalker bolter, which I don't know which ones are mace. You know, they're known for heavy melee fighting. He's got, I think that's not a stalker bolter. I think that's the SMG version of it. You know, he's got a thunder mace, and then him, you know, a heavy bolter with a Necron sword, which kind of shows, you know, how faithful he is into the Death Watch. And then the Necrons, which, you know, this guy looks pretty wicked as shit right here. I mean, like part, what do you call those things? Part, I knew the name so well, but I can't remember. And, you know, he's got the human part up here. Then it looks like this is more of a, like a, they're not like a fighting force. They're more of like a scouting, like he's more of like the guy who's in charge of all these collectors and scout units, because, you know, you got like two heavy guys here, but then you got like a small scout unit, and then the rest are scout units. It's not favoring in the Necrons. I'm gonna say whoever plays Necrons, you're probably gonna get your shit rocked, because they've got a full fucking fighting force team. So it's kind of unfair advantages, but, you know, ooh, even that's cool. I wonder if this is any painted. I'm gonna assume this is all unpainted. So then you get even more time to do all that stuff. But yeah, terrain, you know, they've got vantage points. This is all basic one level terrain. I think both these skill teams look pretty badass, to be honest. A little upset with the Night Lords just on because that they could have done a little bit more with, but hey, I guess that they're leaving it up to us to do all the heavy work of putting the wings on the helmets and stuff, which I think they do sell a Night Lord upgrade kit. I don't know. I have to go check on Games Workshop. But, yep, that's about it. Peace out, bitches.